It's a movie sequel more than a half-century in the making.
Mary.
Poppins. Close your mouth, please, Michael. We are still not a codfish.
Someone said to me the other day, I didn't realize how much I needed her to come back until you came out of the clouds. It's just so hopeful and so joyful.
54 years after the debut of the Disney classic with Julie Andrews,
Mary Poppins, practically perfect in every way.
Mary Poppins Returns comes to theaters this December 19th. An all-new story of the nanny and her fantastical adventures, starring Emily Blunt, Lin-Manuel Miranda. And more of the Mary Poppins magic has long uplifted audiences.
You have one of the great entrances in recent cinema, and you're part of it as well.
As I live and breathe. I had the best part of it because I got to stay on the ground. I got to just reel her in.
Yeah, and
you know,
just watch me pretend not to be terrified.
Yeah.
I was sort of 50 feet in the air, dangling from a crane.
Did you ever have one of those moments where you're saying, how did I get here?
Oh, yeah. That was a huge moment where I was like, oh, my God, I'm Mary Poppins.
Here we go. Playback.
Best known for the Best Picture Oscar winner Chicago, director Rob Marshall cast Emily as the British nanny who's practically perfect in every way.
How'd you do that?
Do what?
What happens when you're sitting at your home and you get a call saying, I want you to play Mary Poppins?
Which happens daily. Rob Marshall was beautifully ceremonious about it when he called me. It felt like he was sort of proposing to me.
It was a little bit of a drum roll, and I said, I'd love you to play the role of Mary Poppins.
He said, you know, Disney's most prized possession is Mary Poppins.
And there was sort of silence for a moment. I heard like a big sort of intake.
I just felt my hair sort of blow back with probably a combination of panic and joy and thrill, really.
And we started talking about the character, and she goes, oh, and by the way, it's a yes.
Jane Banks. Still rather inclined to giggle, I see.
For this all-original sequel, she made it a point to make Mary her own.
Now, did you go back and look at that first film when you got cast?
I actually did the opposite. Instead, I dove into the book, and she's quite different in the books. She's completely eccentric and so rude.
My goodness, Annabelle. What have you done to your clothes? You could grow a garden in that much soil.
Deliciously rude and vain.
Don't you remember that kite?
The story is set 25 years after the first film. Jane and Michael Banks are all grown up. Michael has 3 kids of his own and is deep in crisis.
Everything's fallen to pieces since your mother.
And everyone on Cherry Tree Lane needs Mary Poppins' help again.
The bank is now demanding that you pay back the entire loan in full.
The entire loan?
So to have sort of that central problem for Mary Poppins to come and help, you know, after 54 years, it needed to be a big deal.
the one.
The only Mary Poppins!
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you.
As Dick Van Dyke's Bert did in the first film.
All right, I'll do it myself.
Mend your broken cup.
Lin-Manuel Miranda's Jack is a big part of Mary's fantastical adventures.
You would just look up.
I like to picture he apprenticed under Bert. He knows how magical Mary Poppins is. Most kids grow up and forget. Jack's never forgotten.
Nice to see you, Jack.
Good to see you too, Mary Poppins.
How big a dream would it have had to have been to imagine being in a Mary Poppins movie?
I mean, audacious. It is the only word for it. You never think there will be another Mary Poppins film.
Good heavens. It really is you. You seem hardly to have aged at all.
Really? How incredibly rude. One never discusses a woman's age, Michael.
Who is she there to save?
Michael, really.
What brings you here after all this time?
Same thing that brought me the first time. I've come to look after the Banks children.
Us?
Oh, yes, you too.
I think that she comes to look after the Banks children, but ultimately I think it's about him. He's a Banks child as well, you see.
But it's the children that get to go on those magical adventures.
Some people like to dive right in, can you imagine that?
She very much wants people to rediscover the joy and the hope that children have.
There's a moment right before she goes into this big underwater adventure, and she says, off we go. She's more excited than the kids.
One of my favorite lines she says is,
Everything
anything is possible.
Even the impossible.
And impossibly enough, Mary Poppins Returns even features a cameo from Dick Van Dyke, now 92 years young.
There was this really beautiful moment where I was talking to him. He just took my hand. He goes, "It's a jolly holiday with Mary." And I was just like, "You're gonna make me cry." I was like, "You can't do that to me."
The original songs for Mary Poppins Returns are written by Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman.
Mary Poppins Returns is our love letter to the original film, the original filmmakers. It's all in there. So, I mean, I think the audiences can rest assured that when they go see Mary Poppins Returns, that they're not going to get cheated out of anything they may want to hear or want to see, and then they're going to get a whole lot of new stuff.
From wistful nostalgia to childlike wonder, Mary Poppins Returns is looking to set off waves of emotions for those who still treasure the first film and A Spoonful of Sugar.
That a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
And those brand new to her magical world.
Do sing for us. No, I couldn't possibly. D flat major.
When I was a kid and I watched the first film, I remember the animated sequences, I remember all the incredible things. When I watched it as an adult, with children of my own, I realized this is about family. Kids who see this movie are just going to be wowed and amazed by the spectacle of it all. And I think adults are going to go, man, our childhoods went like that. And hopefully for 2.5 hours, you're back in your childhood again.
For Nightline, I'm Chris Connolly in Los Angeles.
Big thank you to Chris. And Mary Poppins Returns opens in theaters on December 19th.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.